You're listening to On Purpose with Aisha Cogborn. And guess what? I'm Aisha. I'm on a mission to help people connect their purpose and passion with their profession. My goal is to bring you conversations with regular people like you who are bold enough to pursue their dreams, along with the tools and resources to help you pursue your dreams too. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode, and visit onpurposepodcast.com for links to the things we mention on the show. Now let's get started. I am pleased to welcome to our show today Pamela D. Smith. Pam is a certified coach who helps women grow to their next desired level. And Pam's the author of several books, including both installments of our book, the On Purpose book series. She's been in both of them. And her latest book, Harvesting Your Pearls. And we're going to talk about that. Pam, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here with you today.
All righty. Well, let's jump in here. Now, you started your coaching practice a few years ago. And unlike what most people believe, some people think, okay, well, if I'm going to start a business, I have to quit my job. But you did it while still working you have a full-time career, not just a job, a career in the airline industry. And how did you know, though, having been with this company for years, how did you even know, wait a minute, there's more out here for me? There's something else I think I'm supposed to be doing too? And talk us through what that process looked like for you as you actually stepped out and began to act on it.
Sure. It started with me years ago when I decided I wanted to personally grow. I knew I was stuck. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I wanted to do it. I started working for the airlines. When I started working for the airlines, both of my kids were teenagers still in school. So quitting my job was not an option for me. Yeah. I was newly divorced, so that made me a single mom. And it's like, I got 2 kids to raise. It's not about you anymore, Pam. I knew from the moment that they hired me that my mission there was not to sell a seat on the airlines. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't. So every day when the customers would call in, I would be like, oh my God, this is not for me. Why am I arguing with them? Because you can't go from California to Baltimore for $39 round trip. First of all, why would you want to do that? Do you know what the price of gas is? So I got to the point to where one day I said, you know what? I have to make a choice. It's like I've been learning about myself. I had been learning about personally growing. So it's like sometimes you have to be able to change your environment without changing your environment.
Ooh, that's a tweetable right there. Sometimes you got to be able to change your environment without changing your environment.
Absolutely. So I knew mentally I had to change. I went home one day because I was so frustrated. I wanted to quit. I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm not doing this no more. We moving in with you. I can't. My mom's like, honey, just calm down. I went home that day and I thought, what can I do? Yeah. What can I personally do to make life better for me? So now you have to start looking at the big goal, the big picture. Again, I knew from day one, it was not about selling an airline ticket. I got a mirror. I got makeup. I got some lipstick. And it's like, I am going to be the producer of my own movie. So that's how I changed my mind. From that day on, everybody that called in on that phone was interviewing to be part of my movie.
I love that.
And that's what I did. I would put my lipstick on, and when they're yelling at me, I'd be like, and that's what I would do. I would just pose and I would just primp, and I would be like, okay, you know what? No, I don't think you're going to make the cut. We're going to go ahead and give you this ticket and we're going to let you be about your way. And that's what I did. I literally changed my mindset. When I would go on break or when it was time for me to take vacations, I would stand up, and I always call it the umbilical cord. We had the headset. We couldn't go any further than the little umbilical cord. I would put on my skates and I would be at the beach skating. So that's what I had to do. And that's what I mean. Sometimes you can't just get up and walk away from something for whatever the reason is. Yeah. But when you know you have a purpose and you have a mission inside of your heart, you're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So that just became my platform.
Yeah. At what point did you decide, all right, this personal growth thing is working for me? I need other people to know about this too.
I knew that probably about 25 years ago. It was like, you know what? I think I got some peace here. What's happening? I mean, my whole world around me was chaos, but I had peace.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you know what? There's something to this. And it's like, if you continue to grow, and then I started having people say, oh, well, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, what do you mean what's wrong with me? Because everybody around me could see my life falling apart. So it was no secret that my life was falling apart. And everybody around me would just say, what's going on with you? How are you doing this? And it's like, I'm personally growing, because at some point you figure out that you're only accountable for you.
Yeah.
No one else. So I'm like, if this is working so good for me, let me help somebody else.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I cried for years. For years, I cried because I just didn't know how to do it or what to do. And I was expecting something really hard. So I would always cry. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know how I can help people. The awesome thing is sometimes I always say that my daughter should have been my mother, because she is so full of wisdom. She would always tell me, Mom, I don't know why you keep saying this. She said, you're walking out your purpose every day. You're helping people every day. And then she would start naming people that have helped and changes that they've made. And she's like, Mom, you want to see your name on the billboard. You want to see firecrackers and sparkles going off everywhere. She says, that may not be what you were called to do. She said, it may come later, but that's not what you were called to do right now. Right now, it's the people that you see every day that you're supposed to help. And so I just started just helping the people that was immediately around me. And that's how I got started doing it.
Oh, that is so good. Because I think so often we do have that picture. You know, maybe you have that vision of, oh, my life is supposed to look like this, and it's big. But you don't know how to make that thing happen. And it seems like it's light years away. But to be able to recognize that there are people in front of you right now, wherever you are, that you can help and you can support. And there are ways that you can walk out your purpose, no matter what constraints you feel like you have. But there's still a way to do it.
Yes.
I always think about that quote, that bloom where you're planted.
Yes.
And yeah, that was one of the things that I had to constantly remind myself of when I felt like, but I'm supposed to be doing more. Bloom where you're planted.
That's right.
And you were doing it.
That's right.
Ah, that's so good. That's so good. So when you decided, okay, I'm actually going to get certified and become a coach, but you still have a job, you know, time is not just this endless resource. What are some of the things that you did to make sure that you were continually making progress towards building this new thing, even though your time wasn't, you know, completely unlimited?
It really worked out good, because once you say yes to yourself and you start walking in your purpose, everything just falls into line. So let's back up just a little bit. When I said that I became the producer of my own movie, all of the people around me were seeing the change at work.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a promotion on my job. So they said, you know what? We need to hire people just like you. We need for you to come and get on the recruiting team. So they put me on the recruiting team. So I started recruiting people to work for the airline. Yeah. Once I did that, they says, well, you do so good. We need for you to train the people. So they would send me to Dallas to headquarters to train the people that I hired. So I'm like, okay, this is just really working. This is what I wanted to do. I'm coaching people. I'm helping people. Lo and behold, one day I'm sitting there minding my own business, and John Maxwell team called me. John Maxwell has been one of my mentors forever. I'm like, oh, no, I can't do this. There's no way I can do that. So it worked out that they ended up giving me a scholarship. And for what was left, my husband just says, no, you're going to do this. Yeah. Got another promotion on my job.
Come on now.
This promotion was taking me off the phone, so I no longer talk to people, which meant that I can put earphones in my ear and listen to my lesson while I'm at work. So I literally took my classes listening to everything during the day. And then when I got home, I did my homework assignments.
Oh, that's perfect.
So
That
I
is
was able to do it that way. Yes.
yes. So when you had this change, you found ways to be able to work in the work. Because again, I'm thinking about the things that people tell me about why they can't do it. Oh, well, I don't have time. There's not enough, what, when I get home, I'm tired. You found ways to work it in to an already busy day.
Yes. And it is not easy.
Yeah.
And there is not enough time in the day to do everything that you want to do. So I was tired.
Yeah.
When I got home, it was like, okay, you know what? You have homework to do. So I just let everybody know this is what I'm doing. I'm going back to school. I have to study. So I didn't have a lot of free time. It's all about choices.
Yeah.
What do you want the most out of life? What's going to keep me stuck here and what's going to allow me to grow forward? So I just made that sacrifice. It is a sacrifice that you do have to make.
And anything that we are working towards, we do have to make sacrifices.
Yes.
I don't know where we got this belief that everything is just supposed to come to us so easily. And if it doesn't come easily, then, oh, well, I guess I'm not supposed to be doing it then. Like, where did that come from?
That's
like,
right.
I don't even know where.
That's right, because I always say personal growth is a choice, but it is not automatic. You have to work for it. You have to be intentional about it.
Yes, that is so true. Now, you made a decision to begin building out a whole new career path for yourself and starting a business and developing, new skill sets, things that were still, inherent to who you were and what you were doing anyway. But you took this on at a point that some people would be just counting down the days to retirement. And you decided, all right, we're going to take this leap. Why is it that you think so many people limit themselves when they know that there are still things that they want to do, but they limit themselves and think that they can't just based on the number of birthdays they've had so far?
I think a lot of that comes with they've let their dream go to sleep. They've let their purpose go to sleep. We have gotten so accustomed to what they call the American dream.
Yeah.
Work all of your life and then sit at home for 2 or 3 years and do nothing and then pass on away.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, one of the things is they've let that dream go to sleep. I think the second thing is fear. We have been so accustomed when you work in, and I'm just going to say corporate, when you work in corporate world, they train you that nothing matters except for making us money and getting a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Right.
So that's part of why your dream goes to sleep.
Yeah.
So I think fear is a lot.
Yeah.
I think life happening to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get beat up so much in life, you be like, you know what? I'm just tired.
Yeah.
So I think that's where a lot of people just kind of say, you know what? I'm just going to retire. For me, I've never been a person that could sit still.
Yeah.
I love being on the move. I love learning new things. I love people.
Yeah.
So even retiring from one job doesn't mean I just want to sit at home and do something else. I wanted to try something different. I've tried it doing corporate way, going to work, getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. Now I want to add value to other people. That's my value.
Yeah. Yeah. You talked about some of those things that people run into, the fear, the just being tired, beat down. When you're working with your coaching clients and you work primarily with women, when they come to you, what are some of just give us some of those basic tips that you give them to be able to get them to see differently from where they are right now?
The first thing we do is what we call self-awareness. We only focus on us.
Yeah.
I teach them you have to take time to meditate. That is the most biggest thing is to meditate, because just as women naturally, we just always think about the other